Hello everyone. Today's lesson is going to be about order of operations, and we're also going to talk about simplifying and evaluating as part of the order of operations. So what is the order of operations? It's an order of things. It's the steps in a particular order in which we simplify a mathematical expression. And the first step in that order is to simplify groups. Oops, I misspelled that. Groups or parentheses. Okay, so anything that's in a group, in a bracket or in a brace or in a parentheses, we want to simplify that first. The second thing that we simplify are exponents. So 2 to the third power, 5 to the sixth power, anything with a power, anything with an exponent. That's the second thing we simplify. And then the third thing we simplify is multiplication / division. These are actually the same operations. Division is simply multiplying by a reciprocal or a multiplicative inverse. So that's why multiplication and division is done at the same time. And when we get to step 3 of multiplication and division, we go left to right in the order of simplifying. And then the fourth order of operations is to simplify addition and subtraction. Okay, once again, subtraction is just addition with negatives. You are adding a negative, or you are taking the additive inverse. And again, just like with multiplication and division, we do this from left to right. Okay, so now that we have gone over what order of operations is and what the 4 orders of operations go in what order, remember it's groups or parentheses first, exponents second, multiplication and division third, addition and subtraction fourth. So we're going to go in that same order to simplify this example. So we have 10 squared minus 3 cubed, open parentheses, 5 squared minus 23, plus open bracket 3 open parentheses negative 5 minus 2 to the all to the second power, and then close bracket. So remember, the first order of operations is groups or parentheses, and we want to find the innermost parentheses. This is a parentheses right here, but then we have another parentheses over here with brackets, and it's got a parentheses inside a parentheses, or a bracket with a parentheses inside. So there's a group inside of another group. So we need to simplify the insidemost group first, and everything else is going to stay the same. So we're going to say 10 squared minus 3 cubed times 5 squared minus 23. We're not going to simplify this yet. We need to simplify this parentheses first. Plus bracket 3 parentheses negative 5 minus 2 is going to be negative 7. Close parentheses squared, close bracket. Now we can simplify inside the parentheses again. And inside this parentheses, when you look inside of a parentheses, order of operations starts all over again. So we need to look at parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. So inside this parentheses, I can't go ahead and subtract them. I've got to do 5 squared first. Inside this parentheses, I can't multiply them. I got to do negative 7 squared first. So that's the next step, the exponents inside the parentheses. So we're going to have 10 squared minus 3 cubed, parentheses 5 squared is 25 minus 23, close parentheses, plus bracket 3, and then negative 7 squared is parentheses 49. And once again, we simplify inside the parentheses. So now we can simplify 25 minus 23. Everything else stays the same. And now we can simplify 3 times 49. Everything else stays the same. So 10 squared minus 3 cubed, parentheses 25 minus 23 is 2. Close parentheses, plus 3 times 49 is 147, and that's about as simple as it can get. So we don't need these parentheses and brackets anymore. We can just leave it as 147. So we've essentially simplified everything inside the parentheses at this point. So the second thing after parentheses is exponents. So we're going to go down the line and simplify the exponents. I have 10 squared, which is 100, minus 3 cubed, which is 27, times 2, plus 147. So look at how many steps it took to simplify parentheses. So we've done that. Now we've simplified exponents, and now we're going to go to multiplication and division. And we've got multiplication right here. So that's going to be 100 minus 54 plus 147. And now we can do addition and subtraction. So 100 minus 54 is going to be 46 plus 147. Remember, we do this from left to right. And now 46 plus 147 is 193. So 10 squared minus 3 cubed, parentheses 5 squared minus 23, plus bracket 3, parentheses negative 5 minus 2, quantity squared, close bracket, simplifies to 193. Okay, so now we're going to evaluate. To evaluate means to substitute a variable for a numeric value. So we have k squared plus f times g squared divided by k minus f cubed, and we want to evaluate this for k equals negative 2, f equals 3, and g equals 4. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to replace everything with its appropriate value. So k squared, that has a square next to it, so I need to use parentheses when I substitute the negative 2. So we're going to say parentheses negative 2 squared plus f is 3, so we're just going to put 3. Parentheses, g is 4, so we're going to plug in a 4. Close parentheses, and don't forget it's got a square. And then that's divided by k, which is negative 2, minus f is 3 squared. Sorry, cubed, 3 cubed, 3 to the third. And now we're going to simplify. Now, here's a parentheses, but the only thing inside the parentheses is a negative 2. There's really nothing happening. What's happening is outside, which is the square, which means we're going to do that when we do exponents. Over here, again, we have a parentheses, but inside is only a 4. There's not much happening. What's happening is outside a square and a 3 in front. So we're multiplying by 3 and we're squaring it as well. So those are the only parentheses. So there's really no step to simplify when it comes to the parentheses. So now we're going to go to exponents. So when there's nothing to simplify in parentheses, we skip that step and go to the next one. So for exponents, we're going to have negative 2 squared, and that's going to be positive 4 plus 3, and then 4 squared is 16, so we're going to say times 16. Don't forget it's divided by negative 2, minus 3 cubed, which is 27. So now we've done exponents. Now we're going to do multiplication and division, and we're going to do multiplication and division from left to right. And one thing I didn't explicitly say is not only do we do it left to right, we do it top to bottom as well. So going left to right, there's no multiplication here, but there is multiplication here. So we're going to say 4 plus 3 times 16 is 48, divided by negative 2, and then bring down the minus 27. So now we've gone left to right and top to bottom. 48 divided by negative 2 is going to be negative 24. Notice I'm still doing multiplication and division. It's just taking 2 steps. So we're going to say 4 plus, and we're going to put a parenthesis here to say negative 24, just to keep that negative number nice and grouped to separate it from this plus sign, minus 27. Now, when you have plus a negative, that's the same thing as saying minus. So let's just rewrite in this step. We're just going to rewrite. And we're going to say 4 minus 24 minus 27. And now we go left to right, addition and subtraction. 4 minus 24 is going to be negative 20 minus 27. And then negative 20 minus 27 is going to be negative 47. So k squared plus f times g squared divided by k minus f cubed, when k is negative 2, f is 3, and g is 4, simplifies into negative 47. Well, I hope you enjoyed the lesson on order of operations, simplifying and evaluating. If you have any questions, send me a message via Schoology, or you can send me a text. Have a great day.